of the American War in Vietnam.
And I've been a member of Veterans for Peace
for 2.5 years.
15 years.
Close to 30 years now.
For about a month now.
For over 1 year.
An active member for 20 years.
We as military veterans do hereby affirm our greater responsibility
to serve the cause of world peace. To this end, we will work with others both nationally and internationally.
To increase public awareness of the causes and costs of war.
To restrain our government
from intervening overtly and covertly in the internal affairs
of other nations.
To end the arms race.
To reduce and eventually eliminate nuclear weapons.
To seek justice for veterans and victims of war.
To abolish war as an instrument of national policy.
To achieve these goals, members of Veterans for Peace pledge to use nonviolent means
and to maintain an organization that is both democratic and open.
With the understanding that all members are trusted to act in the best interests of the group
for the larger purpose of world peace.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Let's go scrolling. Here we go. Ready, get set, action.
We will use our anger at injustice as a positive, non-violent force for change.
We will approach every encounter with fellow members.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, and welcome to Gamers for Peace, an initiative of Veterans for Peace. We are a group of anti-war veterans and allies who are speaking out against military recruitment to kids in gaming and streaming. This is our Rocket League team practice, and as a team, we demonstrate good sportsmanship in online gameplay. We create inclusive gaming and streaming environments, and we have open discussions about the realities of military recruiting, service, and war. My name is Little Pistons. I'm the Gamers for Peace Rocket League coach and a Veterans for Peace associate member. And with me today, as always, is my lovely Rocket League team. Let's start out with some introductions with Highly Sensitive Unicorn.
Hi, I'm Highly Sensitive Unicorn. I don't know if you noticed, I changed my gamer tag on Switch, so now it's also Unicorn. And I am a Gamer for Peace, amateur Rocket League player, and a Veterans for Peace associate member, as of recently.
Awesome.
And I will pass it off to... Oh, go ahead. No, you do it.
Oh, I was going to say our other person on cam today is Sincerely V. Our tech guru.
Sincerely V. Also known as around here. I'm a Peace community member of the Rocket League team, apparently. Which I'm very happy.
Yeah! Yeah. It's official. You all heard it. You all heard it right here. It's recorded forever.
What game mode did you turn this on?
I was just thinking that. What is happening?
It's crazy, though.
This is amazing. I love it. So, a United States Marine Corps vet, turned Gamer for Peace, turned Veteran for Peace, and very happy to be here in this chaos that somebody just created.
But we've got weapons.
Weapons apparently are had right now.
Oh my gosh, you're spiky.
Smedley?
I think we lost.
Yeah, I seem to have lost my connection to the game. I'm gonna have to try and restart it. But yeah, I am. Smedley Butler was right. In Twitch and in the Discord, I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I try to be a Rocket League team member, but lately I haven't been having much luck at that.
I have to say, though, like, when your internet is working smoothly, I think that you've made the most progress of any of us from starting out. Like, I'm serious. We like swoop in there and get those shots. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Welcome. So what are we talking about tonight? Bad Batch episodes 2 and 3, right?
Yeah. So what do you think, Pistons? Did it grow on you after
Yeah.
2 episodes?
It is growing on me.
I'm getting
I have
very
to say.
Firefly vibes from it.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Very expatty.
Yeah, and there's no book character. He was my least favorite character. I couldn't stand him. So I'm happy for that.
What? You didn't like Shep?
Sorry.
Oh my goodness. I've removed myself.
You like Book?
I do like Book. And I wept when he died in the movie.
He's so annoying. So much religion. I don't know. I'm gonna fall down a rabbit hole here.
Fair.
But
It's an aside. We'll
yeah.
have this conversation another time.
Yeah. Bad Batch, Star Wars, Bad Batch. Yeah, it's growing on me. I'm getting used to the animation style, and I have to say, like the last few episodes, there were some really pretty scenes that I was like, oh, it was really well done. So
yeah, like a painting.
Yeah, like really good shadowing and stuff like that. So it is growing on me. I guess we should do like a little synopsis. I feel bad that I don't have a good announcer voice like the Clone Wars announcer guy. Unless anyone wants to take on that role.
Nope.
No,
So
I don't really have an announcer voice.
I will just say that I am just not as organized a speaker as you are. So if we're going to do a synopsis, I think you might be the best person.
Sounds good. Let me know if I leave any details out.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, we the series started out with introducing this elite squadron of clones, who, I mean, the clones are all genetically modified, obviously, but they've been genetically modified even more so. They have some special abilities. For the most part, they have more autonomy than the clones, and this shows up when they refuse to carry out Order 66, which is basically execute, slaughter all of the Jedi. And then after that, they're kind of just fleeing now from this new military regime, the Empire. Well, not military, but political regime, the Empire. And that's kind of where it ends, right? With episode 1.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. The reason why I asked you to do a synopsis is because I definitely fell asleep in the middle of the major fight scene at the end of episode 1.
Awesome.
And I didn't go back and rewatch it, but I was a little confused at the beginning of episode 2, but then I was like, oh, this makes sense. I know what happened, because what happens in every story like this.
Yeah.
They're on the run.
And then, yeah, they're on the run, and particularly too because they are, I guess, betrayed is the right word to say, right, by one of their squad members, Crosshairs, who doesn't have as much freedom as the other because of this thing called the inhibitor chip, which we'll talk about later, I'm sure. So yeah, part of it is they're also being hunted by their own squad member. And episode 2, it opens up with them. I can't remember the planet. I should have written it down. It doesn't matter. Anyway, they're going to see another clone who deserted, and that's where it opens up, which I thought was interesting because like it didn't seem like this other clone whose name is Cut. What's his last name? Lawquane? Is that how you pronounce it?
I'm so bad at the name.
Yeah. Well, his first name is Cut, and it's like, well, and he's a clone, right? So he didn't originally have a name; he had a number. But he's not. He's just a regular clone, right? Like he's not a bad clone.
Yeah.
Because I was like, how does a regular clone desert? Like, how did he have the like mental ability to leave the clone army?
Maybe we'll get to... Is his story told somewhere else?
I don't know. Good
Um,
question.
yeah, I don't remember the episode, but from what they were saying in this episode of Bad Batch, it seems like there was an episode of the Clone Wars where they showed what happened with him, how he deserted, but I don't remember it, to be honest. So I don't know. I mean, maybe he got some kind of TBI that would have like knocked out
Yeah.
the chip. I honestly
Yeah.
don't remember.
That sounds like a good explanation.
Oh, I
Believable.
can't-
Even if it's not true.
And that's a good point, actually. I like that take on it, that he would get traumatic brain injury and it would mess everything up.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't remember. So that's just the first possibility that came to my mind. I don't know if that's actually what happened.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to see if I can pull you back in.
Okay.
That game was weird.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Pretty
It's
fun
called
though.
Rumble.
Oh, that's good. So, like the which title says we're all deserters now. That's a quote from. Well, which character said that? Does anyone remember?
I think it was Echo or Tech.
Oh, or Tech probably.
One of those
Yeah.
two, because it was like in their conversation while they were like walking.
Yeah. And they
I can't.
talk a lot about desertion in the episodes 2 and 3. We lose you, Unicorn, in our party.
Oh no.
Oh no, there you are. Who did we lose? Oh, Smedley.
Yeah, I was inviting him back.
Oh, okay.
Smedley had to dip so he could get the DeLorean.
It would be really funny if he did have it now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pistons, I interrupted. Yeah, we're all deserters
Oh, no
now.
worries. Yeah. And like, it's interesting that when they're traveling, they haven't gotten to the planet yet, and one of the Bad Batch asks if they can trust the clone that they're going to meet up with. And I thought that was interesting about, they've already disobeyed orders, they've already deserted, basically, but there's still this like concern about trusting another deserter.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, like, I don't know.
I think
Go ahead.
whoever says it, Echo or Tech, whichever one responds, it's like, well, we're all deserters now. I think like that's like the realization, like, oh yeah, like, but you're right. Like, I think that that's part of the fear that like a lot of people who are like going against whatever major power, right? Like whether you're talking about at work and you're like, you're the only one who feels like you're against your boss, or if you're talking about the military, or if you're talking about the government, it is hard to seem, sorry, Pistons. It is hard, I think, to like try to figure out how you establish trust. So that's like an interesting dilemma that they're gonna probably play into. Like, how do you know, like you said, like, how do you know which clones, which deserters you can trust? Are they faking it or not? Who knows? Because government or, whatever else, military.
And then, like, Bad Batch, their desertion was very spur of the moment, I would say. And is there a difference between, like, I want to say, like, accidental desertion, but shoot, oh no, hold on a second. Ah, crap.
Nice.
Out of there. Like, no, not again. I was wondering what you thought about, like,
Nice.
desertion in general. Like, I don't know. It's a loaded term. It's a loaded act, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I honestly was thinking about, why are they necessarily deserters? You know, just because the Empire says they are? Like, it seems to me that once the I don't know, it seems to me that once the Clone Wars were over, then the clones should have been free to do whatever they wanted, except, of course, for the fact that, you know, they were basically bought and paid for by the Republic, which then became the Empire. So, you know, then they're not really people; they're property
Mm-hmm.
without any real rights. But
Well, this kind of
um,
sounds like our treason discussion from last episode. Like, how do you define a deserter if there's nothing to desert from, or like what are they deserting from, and who says they're deserters, kind of thing, right?
yeah,
Oh crap!
Well, and the fact too that like, are they people?
Yeah, that's an interesting.
Or, you know,
too.
are, and if they're people, then they're slaves, basically. If they're
Mhm.
people,
yeah.
if they're not people, then they are equipment that's just been repurposed. I don't know. I mean, it seems
So
like
are they? They're not.
are they people? I don't know, because it seems like they can reproduce. The clone has 2 kids, I think,
Very, very interesting.
unless they're not his biological kids, which is possible, of course.
So many like
Um,
existential questions.
I know, right? Oh, dang. But like desertion in general, I don't know. I don't know if anyone wants to comment on that or in context of the clones.
So, I mean, like, there's so much to like desertion. Like, what did the clone? I didn't watch the episodes,
No.
so I'm
What?
just putting that out there. I didn't get a chance to watch them, but the clone they were going to go speak with, Cut, I think he said his name was. Did they ever say why he deserted? Did he go into his backstory at all? Like, is it moral injury, and did he become a conscientious objector?
No, I don't think we were
Or
just
anything like
saying
that?
that we didn't get his whole story.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like,
I mean, it seems like maybe he wanted a family because he has a family, but it doesn't say, at least not yet.
I think does
Love.
Yeah, it's probably love.
The term deserter
Love.
is tossed around in two different ways, right? Somebody that is left their unit, walked away from the military, like, in a conscientious for a moral reason, right? Or psychological reason. I guess they're all psychological. And then somebody that has, the military would call it, shown cowardice, or like how not veterans, but like soldiers of old would call, it's where you just like flee the battlefield, are like the common definitions of what a deserter is. And depending on which could give pause to the bad batch. Like, if he fled the battlefield, no matter how we see that justified fear, trauma response, all of that, like the military mindset, like this person be trusted. The bad is still a military unit that hasn't gone through a healing process where they've deprogrammed completely from their military training, or like gone through the healing process and addressed all of that, you know. So so because they haven't done that, they're still operating under the pretense that has left before this bad situation has gone down, betrayed their military oath, betrayed the unit that they were associated with, their fellow soldiers, and so on.
So, then did you watch the episode?
No, I haven't seen the episode.
Okay, so they go to this guy, like they know, like he's a friend, like they go to him, like on purpose, like to like seek like guidance about how to be a deserter, basically.
Yeah.
They're like, how do you stay hidden and like, you know, because like they're like, we make a scene everywhere we go. You know, that's like,
Good way to put it.
yeah. So like they know that like they're friendly with this person. Just, I didn't know if you needed that for context in what you were saying. It sounded like you did.
Maybe. Like, if they're going to this person and he's a friend, and they're on the lam, and he showed cowardice previously, there's, like, the logic would lead, like, if he has showed cowardice, but is a good guy, cowardice is often portrayed in, movies and media as in the betrayer, the Judas type figure, the one that will sell you out because they're looking out for themselves, and if that's why he deserted, that would be why they don't trust him, or have a predisposition to not trust him. But I also don't think it matters because I think that like they are still in the military mindset. I think they may see this person as a friend, but he still left the military. There's like subconscious or conscious like biases to people that have that term deserter that have been UA, like unauthorized absence. You know, that ran from a battlefield. There's still a lot of those, a lot of biases, and this again, those terms and labels to do with machismo and like bravery and all that. But
so in this, I don't get the sense of that kind of relationship in this episode, like in this show. Like they seem like they trust him a lot. At least Hunter does. Like this is a good friend. They even trust him enough to like want to like send Omega with them, like which is the girl that they brought with them. So it sounds like I can see like you're saying like that's what it might seem like to maybe like American military like perception. Like in IRL.
yeah, like I think I'm speaking more towards just the general process that was trying to be displayed, not necessarily like was the reasoning and exactly what's happening in the scene.
No, I know. I was just saying like because I know you didn't see the episode, so I wanted to let you know. It seems like they're on good terms and like they trust each other, in what I can tell. But you're saying that like IRL, like you yourself, like let's say like you came across for whatever reason, like you, I don't know, had to like were on exile from America for some reason and like came across somebody you knew to be, I don't know, as you say, a deserter from the military. Like what is like your immediate perception? Are you like, hey friend, or like foe?
For me, I think because there's a lot. Veterans come in all shapes and sizes and all predilections and biases. So like, it's hard to say like what one expat is gonna behave like versus another.
What would the average American military person? It sounds like you were kind of talking about like military people broadly when you were talking about that, though.
Yeah, but I'm just talking like in a fictional setting where a military unit is left.
I'm talking in a fictional setting too.
I don't know.
Okay. This is all fiction.
I'm wondering if like some of it might be you were willing to go against not just your friends, but you know, I mean, it's not countries in Star Wars, but like, let's just say your country, your community, your society, whatever. One time, like, what's to keep you from doing it again to save your own skin? I wonder if that's maybe some of where the lack of trust or like the feeling, like just basically disloyalty, like that's okay. How can you
Yeah.
trust someone who's done something that's considered disloyal, even if it's, justified?
It sounds like just like something that's like pertinent, like in trust in general, like with humans, right? Like that's always like the default, like, oh, I can't trust you because like one time you did this thing that was like not trustworthy. Right?
Yeah, I mean, granted, it's a big decision, right? But yeah,
Yeah,
like
so I
one
think,
time this happened.
yeah. So when you think about like the scale on which like somebody would have to do something in order to be labeled a deserter, like there has to be like some like bigger reason, right? Like it's not like you like if you get labeled a deserter, it's because there was like some major, maybe moral decision that had to be made, whether it's you're on the right side of history or the wrong side of history or whatever, if there is a right or wrong. I feel like a
Right.
deserter implies like some big moral like difference.
Or you have that, what I would call like accidental or unintentional desertion, like Sin was talking about, where it's like I don't like using the word cowardice, but still like a lack of trust from that too. So it's like intentional or unintentional. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh shoot. What are you thinking, Smedley?
Well, actually, I did a little search and I found an entry about Cut on Wikipedia. That's right.
Nice.
You heard it.
Nice.
You heard it right.
Yep.
Wikipedia.
Favorite. I love it.
And yeah, I guess it says here that like after the Battle of Geonosis, he and his
Nice.
squad mates were on a transport that was attacked by separatists, and everybody but him died. So then he just split. So he probably had like, it doesn't really say in here, but I'm guessing in the episode where you first meet him in the Clone Wars that he probably was pretty traumatized from that, and that's probably why.
Moral injury, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe even too like, hey, I couldn't protect anyone in this situation. Like, what is the point of me staying?
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thanks for looking that up. Now we know. I was gonna read Star Wars, like I like Googled Star Wars for Dummies, and I found a couple websites so I can like have like these facts on hand, so I know what I'm talking. I didn't read them yet, obviously, or else I would know stuff. Nice.
Had to make up for us getting slaughtered that
I
last
know.
game. Unicorn. Oh,
Good job.
no. That was bad. Oh boy. Do y'all want to keep playing this mode, or do you want to play a different mode?
We could play a different mode. Do you want to play like just on a team with us, or okay? Do you want to play hoops?
Yeah, let's play hoops.
Okay.
That's a good one. So the episode 2 is basically just a lot of talking about desertion and how they're gonna figure that out.
Yeah, I can't. I'm mixing up the two episodes in my head. That's why I asked you to.
I know.
Can't remember the order of things.
Yeah, season 2 was. Episode 2 was interesting because of the chain codes that they introduced in there.
Yeah, I was wondering what you all thought about that.
That
so the chain code Want to let our viewers know what that is?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't explain it too much, but it's just basically like an individual code for everybody to
Social security number. Kinda.
identify them. Yeah, kind of like a social
That's
security
a good.
number.
Yeah.
Um, I thought it was interesting at one point. I forget who it was. It may have been Hunter, but one of them was like, talking about, oh, all this time clones have been wanting a name instead of numbers, and now everybody's lining up to get numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember when that scene. I wrote that quote down too. Very interesting
Yeah.
and poignant. Because like
they
social security numbers, or like I don't know, did you get numbers when you joined the military? Did they do that?
Used to.
Well,
like, the Vietnam era thing or World War II era thing where they give you service numbers. But it just everything goes by social now in the military.
Okay. No.
Well, yeah, I mean, from my understanding, it used to all go by socials. When I first got into the Marines, we all went by socials, and then my last few years, I forget what they called it, but they did give us a
Nice shot.
Thanks.
they did give us a separate number that it was on the backs of our ID cards. And they did that because you know, in the military you're always giving out at least the last four of your social to identify yourself for all sorts of different things. And they always said that they did that as a way to improve security for the service members, so that there was less risk of identity theft. Yeah.
Sorry, Sam. Well, I don't like. I have so many like ID numbers. Like, it's not like every student ID number I've ever had. Like I've memorized. It's just like I'm like, yeah, like I am a number in countless systems. And it's very bizarre to me sometimes to think of it like that. But then, like you said, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I thought it was interesting and clever how they tied it to people's financial stability, right? It's basically like they're giving them bank account numbers because they want to change the money over from Republic to Empire. But at the same time, they're going to use it to track people. And it's like, okay, either you can starve or you can probably go on like black market, seedier side and not have these bank accounts, or you can sign up for a bank account, which is actually going to end up tracking you. Oh goodness.
Familiar.
Oh no. So and then that's a lot like a social security number too. Then of course because at least when you're older.
Well, and like at least like in Philly recently, there was like a whole discussion about like a lot of places were going cashless, and like. There are a lot of people who don't have credit cards or bank accounts or bank cards for lots of reasons. And so, like, there was, like, a whole, like, legislation type thing, I guess. I'm sorry, I've been not well over the last couple of years. I have no idea what the outcome of it was. But I think Philly decided that, like, you can't be a completely cashless, like, public serving system. But yeah, it's like kind of a similar thing. It's like gatekeeping services. If you don't have a social security card in order to get a bank account or whatever,
Yeah.
Well, and so many bank accounts have a minimum balance, and some people don't have that, you know.
And then don't forget the poverty tax of like having to pay the fees for not maintaining a minimum balance.
Yeah, or overdraft fees.
It's just comical
Yeah.
at this point sometimes.
Well, plus, if you can't maintain those minimums, then you have to go to a check cashing spot and they take, a percentage. They take a percentage of your check. So how are you ever going to get a bank account when you're in this perpetual cycle of somebody taking a cut of your check,
Very similar to what's happening to the people in the Cold War. Or like in the aftermath, I guess.
Restructuring.
Yeah. And then I don't know if this is relevant or not because I didn't prepare enough, but I think today is like the 100-year anniversary of the formation of the Communist Party in China. So there was like some things on like the news, like people were like talking about it, and there was like some historical stuff, but like some of the Chinese citizens were talking about nice shot. We're talking about like their membership in the party and how like being like you have to be a member of the party because it's like good financially and networkingly and like all of this stuff, and that I don't know, just kind of because I heard it on the radio today, it kind of reminded me of that part where they're doing that in the Bad Batch. Like you have to be like for this party and get their bank account and get their social security number, and or you're not part of the system at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
I change the topic because I want to ask you, Pistons, about Neck. What do you think about what's it? Wrecker. Yeah. Like it's like the second scene of the second episode. The kids run up to him and they're like, "Uncle Wrecker," and it's like, this is why we love this character.
He's a lot less annoying, but I think he has fewer lines in episodes 2 and 3. I mean, I thought like the point, or there's that scene where Omega's like, "Oh, Wrecker, you can have my ration or whatever," and then he's gonna take it right away, right? And then he gets chastised and looks all conflicted about it. But and he makes her the bedroom too, right? Like it's pretty much his force.
Yeah. So Sin, Wrecker is really cute in these 2 episodes.
That?
I said Wrecker is really cute in these 2 episodes. The kids love him. They call him Uncle Wrecker, and also he makes Omega her own bedroom on the ship.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's his stuffed animal too, right?
Yes, that is his stuffed animal from episode 1 that Omega saved for him.
Oh, he's good in small doses. Because I know last time we were talking about how he's kind of like the Jane character from Firefly, but Jane is he's an asshole, all right? Like Wrecker's not an asshole.
Yeah. He's just kind of
honestly,
dumb
I think
sometimes.
Yeah, I think that makes Jane a more interesting character. But yeah, he's better these episodes. The show is better this whole time. Because I think there's a lot more. I'm just gonna put it out there. I think there's less pandering to children in these 2 episodes. There's a lot more.
Oops, sorry.
I think that's like predominantly geared towards adults or older viewers, and so that's always helpful. I don't know. I don't got time for.
I didn't like
I'm old and jaded.
I just started watching Steven Universe, so I'm gonna keep watching kids shows.
I mean, I watched. Okay, someone on Discord was talking crap about Boss Baby. I gotta say, Boss Baby cartoon is like my guilty pleasure.
That seems
So,
like something you would like.
I never watched Boss Baby. I have to say my guilty pleasure is Despicable Me because of the minions.
That's a good one.
No.
Though. That's such a wait. You don't like that one either, Piston?
I've never seen it. I'm just picturing all those terrible minion memes.
Oh, but
Medley sharing them on his Facebook.
You've got to see it because then you'll like it. Am I trying to score on my own goal? I'm sorry. Sorry, Smedley.
Don't talk to mom until she's had her coffee, and there's like an image of a minion.
The minions are really funny. Like you would
Yeah.
like it. I think you would like it.
I'll have to watch it sometime.
I think you'll like Gru, the evil guy / protagonist.
I do like that
like
meme
the
of it.
character.
That 4-panel meme. Well, if anyone feels like getting a little inebriated with whatever your choice is, and then watching Boss Baby Netflix cartoon, it's a good time.
Okay, I'll check it
Don't
out.
watch it sober though. Not a sober show. Anyway, I digress.
I love it. I have notes, but when I switch to my notes, my camera will go off. So just FYI, if my camera goes out, it's because I'm looking at my notes.
Okay.
That's mostly for person.
So they do talk a lot about like the economic impact of a war being quote unquote over, starting with the bank account. Well, I keep saying bank account, the chain code.
Yeah.
Which it is probably more like a social security number because you can't get on a shuttle or spaceship or whatever without a valid one.
Yeah, it is your citizen ID number. This is how we track you and know who you are and where you are at any given time.
Yeah. They also show a little bit of the Kaminoans, I'm pronouncing that correctly, the cloners, talking about how they're, now they say are existing. But come on, they're talking about like their economy. Like they're not going to die if they don't clone.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting.
Hold on, I want to like read because I wrote down the quote. I thought it was so good. Okay, these conscripted soldiers will make our clones obsolete. I fear for the future of our operation. We must ensure our clones remain essential. Like, if that doesn't sound like the military-industrial complex, I don't know what does.
Yeah, that's very, just like in the first episode, it's you definitely see the comparison between the Kaminoans and the military-industrial complex.
Mm-hmm. I was like, Raytheon, is that you? It's like, how can we ensure that people will continue to buy our military weapons? And that is by ensuring that there is a need for them. Just like the Caminos are saying about their clones. Like, we have to make sure that these are essential. Oh, wow. Nice shot.
Nice shot.
Oh, that was a nice lucky shot right there.
I don't know. That was like perfect physics to me. Like,
yeah.
Right in.
And like, it's funny too, where they have obviously a facility that's set up right now just for human clones, but there's no reason they can't clone something else for some other reason, but that would cost money, right? So to them, they'd rather keep their clones the way they are than to change and risk like any kind of profit loss.
Which sounds exactly like any corporation, right? Like, you could just accommodate your facilities to make more eco-friendly things, but that would require money and time and effort. And why would you do that? And you can just convince people that they just need the stuff the way it is. Or with some enhancements, or more cameras on the back of your iPhone. You need 6 of them now.
Yeah.
Sorry. Though not really, because you're not on my team.
I know, I just keep crashing into everybody, and I'm like, well, it's just like we're playing solo games.
I'll put us
So
on
what
a
do you all think
regular.
about? No, I like this. I think this is good for. Oh shoot.
Nice.
See, if I was better at flying, I could have bumped that out of there. This is good for like getting off the ground.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, I wanted to know what you all thought about the elite squad. Of the conscripted army people. They're like the elite squad, and Crosshair is like their leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was like a whole interesting interaction there. Kind of wonder.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should tell you, Sin, what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an elite squad of conscripted that are being tested to like kind of show off, like, you know, whether we should get conscripted or clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like an elite squad. I don't know. I guess like I was wondering, but you didn't see it, Sin, so maybe Smedley, what you thought. Like, is it like, would you akin it to something like Special Forces or like Navy SEALs or something like that? Like this group, they're supposed to be like super good or something.
Yeah, I think that's the implication, definitely. Yeah, that
Like
they
to
were
rival the Bad Batch,
they
but
were
they're not clones.
they were the, you know, this squad that they're putting under Crosshair's leadership, that they heavily imply that those were the best of the first class of conscripts.
Whoops.
And I thought it was interesting. There were a couple of things, like you see them sitting around like in the chow hall, and one of the characters that I don't think you learn any of their names. He says to one of the other members of this elite squad, he says like, oh, you know, under the Empire, I have a place to live, I have food, I have money. That's more than the Republic ever gave me, which is just like, okay, so they have a poverty draft even in a galaxy far, far away, long time ago. And then the other one was when Tarkin was talking to I can't remember his name, the other Imperial officer that brought in the elite squad, and he said to Tarkin, you know, oh, you know, a group of willing volunteers are much more loyal than clone troopers.
Oh, when I heard that line, I was like, that sounds very like QAnon to me. Right? Like, these are all just like willing people.
Yeah.
You don't have to convince them to do the dirty work. They are ready and willing.
I thought it was interesting that they were still all human, which is like, okay, we're still going to save money. We're only going to take human or humanoid people so that we don't have to like buy new armor or whatever, weapons, or retrofit our spaceships or anything.
Well,
yeah,
the Empire is pretty like xenophobic.
The Empire is
like it's humanoid exclusive and will deal with alternate races, but like it's still a human supremacist state.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if you go back, I think it was in the Dark Force Rising trilogy, back in the '90s that like they Timothy Zahn came out and stated in one of the books, yeah, Emperor Palpatine is like he hates anyone that's not human.
Hmm. I feel like at this junction, though, I feel like it's probably just more saving money, especially since Tarkin is so obsessed with saving money
Yeah.
or doing the most cost-effective method.
Put us in drop shot.
Okay.
Yeah, there was that scene where they're on a mission with Crosshair, the elite squad, and like the elite squad are like, we're not gonna kill these people, they're like civilians. And Crosshair's like, that wasn't the mission, and like shoots one of them, and then like expects the elite squad to do the same. And then they don't show whether or not they do, but I think they might talk about it later.
I think it's pretty clear that I think it's pretty clear that they kill those civilians, especially since they come back with Crosshair. He would have killed them if they didn't do it, and they all come back except for that one guy.
Yeah, at one point, they say, "Oh, this squad, they did what Clone Force 99 couldn't." So, yeah, you don't see it. You don't see it, but they definitely highly imply.
So did the one guy just leave, or did he?
No, the guy that refused, Crosshair shot him.
Oh yes, right. Okay, sorry, I forgot what happened.
And he used his line, his favorite line: "Good soldiers follow orders."
That was
way too good of an impression. So creepy.
So then there's this
Horrible.
scene.
Amazing. Sorry.
Yeah, that was like no,
The
that's
impression
okay.
was just way too good.
It was good. There was this scene where they're on a mission. The elite squad is being tested, and Crosshair is their leader, and the one dude decides he does not want to kill civilians because according to him, he thinks they've completed the mission, which I guess technically they have, but except they have to kill the civilians according to Crosshair, so they do. And except the one dude who gets killed by Crosshair. Did you put spoiler alert on me?
Yes.
What? Spoilers.
No.
If not, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Finally, somebody scored.
This is an interesting game too.
Yeah, and it was that whole part of that episode was interesting too, because if I remember right, the one that refused to shoot the civilians is the one that was challenging Crosshair for leadership of the squad, trying to play all tough.
Yeah,
and the same one that
why
was
do they
like,
why do they have a clone leading humans? You better watch your back.
shit. Ah, crap.
yeah.
The same one too that was like, oh, I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah.
Same character. No.
Nice.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he was
Go ahead.
actually it's funny because he's like the only like white male in the group.
Blonde.
Yeah, like the typical like American soldier looking one. And he was the one who was, I don't know, like the morally right one or whatever, I guess. Like, I'm not going to kill civilians. I'm getting the hang of this game, this version of the game.
Pretty
I
fun,
like
I
it.
think. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
helps too with flying. Oh.
Nice shot. I just did a quick look at my notes. I think we covered all of my favorite quotes. Oh, no, I did have a quote I thought was funny. You know, when they are trying to forge some chain codes for
Omega.
What was the guy's name again? Omega, and what was the guy's name? The other deserter dude.
Cut.
Yeah, so they were.
But they already have it, right? It's just they just need some for Omega, right?
Oh no, I think no. He couldn't get a chain code because he's a deserter.
Yeah,
like they would know immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They all needed chain codes.
Okay.
So, but I just thought it was funny. Like Hunter says to Tech, like, "Oh, do you think you could forge some chain codes?" And like they had only just learned about it like 3 seconds beforehand, and Tech goes, "Oh, I only learned about it moments ago, but I think I could do it." And like, it just sounds like every like I don't know, it's, like there's always that scene in like every like action movie or military movie or something where there's like a person who like is the smarty pants and has to like suddenly learn some new tech on the fly in order to like save everybody's life or something. Yeah. Like it was just so funny to me. It was just like, no, I just learned about it 3 seconds ago, and yeah, I could totally do that. Absolutely.
Or like, you know, like humans failure, right? The lovely Dunning-Kruger effect where you think, oh, that's not so hard when you have no knowledge of it. Actually, really.
Yeah, funny.
I also, like, I was watching it and then all of a sudden it just clicked that Echo has the same kind of device that, and I don't remember the character's name, but from Empire Strikes Back, Lando's like manservant that he activates from a closet. Do you guys remember that part?
Oh yeah.
And that's the same device.
It is. It does look the same, yeah.
Yeah, and like that part always disturbed me because it's like he just has this like human in a closet that he activates whenever. Like, but then now, like knowing more about Echo, like they both just have they're just reanimated corpses that they just activate whenever. And I was like, man, that's creepy. Like, when does your military service end if you can even be enlisted when you've died? Like you're a reanimated corpse. Like,
I don't know. That's
gross.
some like real like Matrixy stuff to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. Probably. I can't.
Never.
I mean, I'm sure that will happen in the near future. I'm like not. It doesn't even seem that sci-fi to me anymore. I'm like,
yeah, it'll be just like when it's too expensive to repair you is when you'll be 100%, discharged. Otherwise, they'll just keep repairing your animated corpse for all eternity.
Gross.
So gross. But I mean, that's what Echo is, right? He died, and now he's more machine than man. That's what he is, I think.
Did he die? Did they declare that he
No,
on a table? Or
what?
was he just severely injured and the repairs to his body and brain matter were replicated by artificial organs?
I feel like that's death. If you don't have artificial organs, you die.
Yeah, I don't remember them saying how extensive his injuries were, but there was an episode in Clone Wars where he was caught in an explosion, I think, and everybody assumed that he died. But he didn't. The separatists got him, and there was this I forget his name. He looks like his species looks like a tarantula, and he's like this genius tactician for the separatists. and he gets Echo and puts all of this machinery in him. He puts all of this machinery in him to hook him up to their computers to use him to defeat the Republic's tactics, because Echo knows the tactics that the Republic uses. So after Echo was caught, they had a series of losses because of that, because the separatists had like managed to tap into his brain through all that mechanical shit.
Wait,
So
Echo wasn't human?
no, he was
He's a clone.
human.
Oh,
He was
okay.
human. He was a clone. He was a, you know, what they would have called a reg. He was part of Anakin's squad. He was part of the 501st, and then he got captured. Had all of that stuff implanted.
Oh, okay.
They rescued him. After they rescued him, then he joined up with the Bad Batch.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
they say like you're more cyborg than clone, more machine than, I mean, not more cyborg, more machine than clone.
Mhm.
He is a cyborg, whatever.
But I mean, yeah.
But-
He's still him. Like that's they're alluding to the fact that he is still the same character. But like before the explosion that replaced all of his internals, he is still the same human being with the same memories, or same clone with the same memories and experiences.
Right.
Yeah.
I still feel that he's just really a reanimated corpse, honestly. Because without all of that, he would be dead. And he's so pale. If you look at the character, he looks
so
like a
weird.
corpse.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So
No, you're good.
is
He's
Darth Vader
pale like a
reanimated
corpse. Well, he's a Jedi / Sith Lord. That's a whole nother can of worms. We get the Force into stuff.
Oh, Echo's not sensitive.
Because he's a clone. You think they would allow a Force-sensitive clone? Can clones have the Force? Ooh,
I'm gonna put money
another can of worms here.
money on the fact that Omega
Wait,
is the
but,
first Force-sensitive clone. But that's her.
She is?
I'm putting money. This is just a random prediction.
Oh, okay.
I'm predicting Echo is a Force-sensitive clone.
Well, isn't
I wouldn't.
isn't Finn?
I wouldn't
No,
disagree.
Finn doesn't have. Wait, is Finn?
Well, okay.
Finn is not.
I
a clone.
think Finn is somewhat I think he's somewhat Force sensitive, but
Oh, yeah,
I think they could have taken it that direction, but they didn't. But he's not a
Yeah.
clone.
I think he's Force
Oh,
sensitive,
okay.
but he's not a clone. He's
Yeah, they never
We had-
really
I guess I don't
They all-
understand Finn's backstory like at all because I brought up Finn last.
Finn is basically an enslaved person. I mean, he was taken
Yeah,
as a child,
basically.
right? And then trained to work for the Empire, so he's an enslaved person.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay. We did have that discussion last time. My apologies.
Oh, no
yeah,
worries.
they always
I don't remember, so.
throughout that trilogy, they always heavily imply that he's Force sensitive. You know,
Mhm.
you always wonder like whether for the first movie, I think like throughout a good part of the first movie, you wonder like, is Rey the Force sensitive or is Finn the Force sensitive? And then you find out that Rey is, but still the next two movies you're like, maybe Finn is too.
Right? Like, there's room for more than one.
But there's
That was
yeah,
disappointing.
I mean there's all different levels of Force sensitive people in Star Wars too. So I mean, just because
True.
he's not strong enough to be a Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of match do you want to play? Real quick. Do you want to?
You want to do a chaos people?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in a chaos mood. Were there other parts? I think I got through everything I thought was interesting.
I mean,
Not
it's interesting to think
everything.
about. Like they talk again about Crosshair's inhibitor chip and they show them doing testing on him. Basically, like they're ramping up his inhibitor chip, and it's like, at what point? And he's a clone, obviously, but like, at what point is someone no longer responsible for their actions, or like, when does responsibility set in?
Mm-hmm.
When you've been so like modified by, I mean, in this case, like a literal chip for training. Oh my gosh, watermelon pattern? That's cute.
Well, the Bad Batch team like kind of talk about that, right? Like, because like they get all nostalgic and they're like, oh, that's like Crosshair's stuff, and then like Wrecker's like, oh, do you think we could like, or maybe it's not Wrecker, I don't know. One of them suggests like talking, like going and talking to Crosshair and convincing him. But do they know that he's getting his? I think they're just now finding out that they even have inhibitor chips from Omega. Right? Omega's like, that's how they work. Like they have no idea how the inhibitor chips work.
Yeah, they didn't realize that they even had inhibitor chips until the second episode.
Yeah. So like now they're like, oh, so it wasn't Crosshair, and now they're like, wanna.
Did you not get it?
Uh-oh.
No, I guess not. I must have lost my connection briefly. I don't know.
Uh-oh. Sorry, I'll put you
Oops, sorry, Sim. Yeah, they also do. Somebody says, "Oh, it's not his fault," when they're talking about the stuff that he's doing.
Yeah, so like you said, like,
no,
oh crap, sorry.
No. That's all right.
I was thinking and not paying attention.
I know it. So was I. I was like, wait.
Yeah, so you said like at what point, like, is it not Crosshair anymore and the inhibitor chip, or I don't know.
Like, when is he responsible, or when is anyone responsible if they've been like subjected? I mean, we talked about that a little bit when we were talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier, with he had to be deprogrammed.
Right.
And,
right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the level of responsibility or lack of responsibility. Oh my gosh, chaos is so much, so many people. Oh my gosh. I just ran it into everybody. So what do y'all think about the series as a whole?
I'm one episode in. I will watch the second and third episode and develop some, maybe I'll have some extra insights next time on our next episode. Bad Batch coverage. Oh, I'm sorry, Unicorn. Didn't see you there.
No, that's okay.
Going up towards them.
No, Sid, I want to know what you think about Kristen's question about at what point is the clone responsible versus the inhibitor chip versus like the person. At what point do they have responsibility for their actions? We're talking about the clone. It's fiction. It's fiction.
They go into the details of how the inhibitor trip works. If it's just
it's like a computer chip in their head that they just, or wherever it is, right? Like they can just control. Like that's how the Order 66 was. It's just like, bloop, now you have this directive in your head. Program.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
And it seems to control the level of decision making they can do. Oh shit. No. Oh my gosh, I was lucky. Oh, I'm sorry. Because
sorry.
They ramp it up, and then he's more into following orders than before. Get in there, please.
Right. Crosshair gets even more like Crosshair.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like let's follow some orders. That's it.
I mean, I think the clone is always like, according to the Nuremberg files, like an order or like does not excuse you a lot of things for almost anything, like war crimes and stuff. Or I was just following orders. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Like theoretically, he's always going to be called for it. You know, that guilt and he still rests on others, in my opinion. I think about as far as I can think with this chaos occurring.
You got that shot though. That was good.
Admit that after the first episode, as you know, I fell asleep a little bit, but maybe I was just tired that day. But I was like, oh no, I don't really like this. But after these 2 episodes, I think I'm into it. I like it. I'm interested to see what happens with Omega.
Yeah. What about you, Smedley?
Yeah, I want to see where it goes. I think it has a lot of potential, and hopefully, like the last few episodes I think are really good. Like, the most recent ones that we haven't gotten to talking about on the stream yet, but the last few episodes that they've released, I think are really good because they're showing some connections with another Star Wars show and like a little bit of backstory to some of those characters. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I always like a good like backstory spin-off. Nice.
Yeah.
I
always
always
think
want to
that-
know more about all the characters.
Yeah. I think too. It's interesting. Star Wars to me, it's always they seem to like stay pretty ambiguous. Like you're not really sure. I mean, some things like yeah, okay, Darth Vader is a bad guy for majority of this, the series or whatever, the movies and oh shoot, hold on. But then like the overarching themes or actions, I don't know. I don't think they ever really like come out and make a definitive statement about anything. If that makes sense. I mean, it's called Star Wars,
Like-
so if there's no war, then it's kind of like, series is
Right.
over.
Yeah. Well, I imagine like when you have like as much world space as the Star Wars do, right? Like it's like intergalactic, like infinite. It's theoretically could always be a war happening somewhere in the stars. It's so vast, you know. But I feel like that's sort of like a lot of theme or a lot of sci-fi movies or lore or whatever you want to say that's like this. It always is ambiguous on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to play one more and see if we can get Smedley in?
Yeah.
Sure. Or do you?
Or are you
I
good,
actually,
Smedley?
yeah, I should get going. To be honest, unfortunately, I went a little too late last week, so I'm trying
Okay.
to.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we could wrap it up for sure too.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for everyone for joining us. Who wants to plug the schedule this week? Who wants the honor?
All right. Do my best.
I can say it. It just won't sound like I know what I'm talking about.
I don't do this very often, and so bear with me. It's a new skill. Tonight is Tuesday. You're welcome Rocket League Tuesday. Thank you for joining us, where we talk about pop culture and the intersection with military and other stuff. Watching Bad Batch, and you should join us. Watch it with us. Join the chat. All that good stuff. Wednesdays is D&D. We don't have D&D this week. D&D resumes next week with Broken Throne campaign, headed by the awesome rep, who's our DM. On Thursdays, community game night / Dilemma Circle. Fourth Thursday of every month is Dilemma Circle. It's a community meeting to talk about the direction of the community and what we do here, the greater GFP purpose, fighting toxicity in gaming, and of course, talking about the rampant use of Twitch and the gaming platforms and hobbies and activity spaces online that the military is using to recruit and bypass regulation laws concerning about how they can access those who they're choosing to recruit. It's a big problem, and we're here to talk about it. So, fourth Thursday every month, join us for the Dilemma Circle, where we talk about what to do and how to shape our community and help us decide what's going on with the streams. Otherwise, it's community game night, the other Thursdays of the month, where you can join us for games like Goose Goose Duck, Jackbox, and anything else like that. Fridays is Ad Slam, hosted by the incomparable, the amazing Plantifa and friends. Join us as we talk about military's use of ads and the issues that arise out of that, and military propaganda that roots into the pipeline. The military entertainment complex as a whole. Monday, where we have Mental Health Mondays, hosted by Rising Phoenix and Passan Mushroom, which is one of our great shows. Just was on it last night. We generally play Heroes of the Storm, so if you're into that MOBA action, you should absolutely join us there. Schedule. I plugged it.
Okay, thanks. Also, join us in
That was
Discord
good.
and come play video games with us. There are other
Yeah,
games
or
that
get
we play too.
yeah, get involved in one of our new direct action campaigns. For example, trying to get different kinds of signifiers. That's not the right word.
Badges?
Badges.
Well, I was trying to be a little sneaky and not use the terminology. Anyway, designators for
we ruined it.
It was like, I mean, not like we're acting in secret, obviously we're being very public about what we're doing, but I was trying to be a little but yeah, different things about how can we prevent direct marketing or direct recruitment to children in gaming and Twitch. So if you're into that, you can join us there too.
Yep.
Awesome.
To follow us, subscribe because you want to support the gamers and the community directly and help us continue to create this content that you're watching. If you really like the what we're doing here in the greater Veterans for Peace mission, you should check out veteransforpeace.org, become a member, and be part of the peace movement, working to end the forever wars. Talking about the intersection of climate change and Black Lives Matter. These are all the DoD has, and this is that we care about. So,
Thank you.
Thank you all, and we'll see you next week.
More Bad Batch. Woo.